This is Lynette, and today we're going to be making a hand sanitizer holder. We're going to be doing an applique hand sanitizer holder in a 5x7 hoop. I will also go over the process for the 4x4 as well. So the things that you're going to need today are scissors to cut out your applique. I use these duckbill scissors, and then I use snips to cut my jump threads. And you will need your main vinyl piece, or cork or leather, whatever you decide to do. And then you're going to need your fabric scrap or whatever you're going to use. In this case, I'm using this fabric today, so I'll be cutting a piece of this out for my applique. I have already stitched the placement stitch because I wanted to show you how I cut my fabric for this. I don't measure it. I just go by the width of this and just snip it where I need to. So for instance here, and then I just snip that. And in this case, it's long enough, so I'm just going to cut it all the way. And that'll be for my front. And then I just put it on top, cut another piece for the back. And then for the bottom, I do the same thing, but of course smaller. I mean for the pocket, I'm sorry. So this is just another way. I just wanted to show you how I do it. And that's all you're going to need. And we'll go ahead and get started stitching this. So our next step is going to be the placement step for your applique. So here's my piece for the applique, and I'm going to center that and put it the way that hopefully it'll come out centered for me and not off. And I'm going to go ahead and tape the corners just because I don't want it to slip. It's not the way I cut it, there's not a lot of room for error. Okay, so we're going to now do the tack down for this applique. Now we're going to do the tack down for the applique part. And again, I did tape it down to hold it. Okay, now we're going to cut out the applique. I gotta get my tape up here. And in this part, you want to get it as close as you can to your stitch line without cutting your stitch line. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm pretty pleased. I got this pretty centered. I was worried about that. Looks pretty good. Okay, now you want to take this to the machine and we're going to do the satin stitch around the applique. Okay, now the applique stitch is finishing up. you guys to see how nervous I was with this stitch because look at my thread. It was almost out. I didn't think I would have enough to finish this, and I don't have any more of this color. It happens to all of us, but thank goodness it worked. Now we're going to go cut this out. Sorry about that. We're not cutting this out now. We're going to add the back now. So because I'm using this glitter vinyl, it's pretty sticky. So I like to tape on some wash away stabilizer underneath it. So we're going to do that. Otherwise it sticks to the bed of my machine. And that should do it. Now we'll go do the final stitch to, or not the final stitch, but the tack on the back. And here's the tack down stitch now. The tack down stitch to attach the back of the sanitizer holder. Okay, now we're going to remove this wash away stabilizer. So for the 4x4 file, you're going to run this exactly the same way. The only difference is when you're done, you're just going to put a rivet in it instead of a snap. But it's exactly the same process. You'll do that main placement stitch, put your main vinyl down, and then after that, you'll put your applique piece down, and then you follow the same steps. Okay, now we just line up our pocket with the little stitches that were on the side. My vinyl was a little bit too wide. I can't quite see them, but they're there. Tiny bit of tape there. You don't want this in your needle because it's regular tape. And then again, I'm going to put another piece of wash away vinyl. I'm sorry, stabilizer, wash away stabilizer. And again, the wash away stabilizer, I just bought a roll off of Amazon. Okay, now we're going to take this to the machine and do the final stitch. And here we go, the final stitch to attach the pocket. Okay, here we are. It's all finished. Pocket added. So now we're just going to take it out of the hoop and cut it out. So I wanted to say again, the wash away stabilizer, the only reason why I used it is because this glitter vinyl is sticky and it sticks to the bed of my machine. It's the only reason why I used it. I'm going to go ahead and cut all this out so it's a little bit easier. The scissors that I'm using to cut this out are just regular Fisker scissors. And this is the part you just want to take your time so you can get a smooth cut. This pocket piece is a little more difficult because you're going through 3 layers of, in this case, of vinyl. and glitter vinyl, which is a little thicker. So just take your time, go slow. Try to move just your project and not your scissors. That tends to be the easiest way for me. Once we get this all cut out, the next step will be adding your snap, and I will go ahead and show you how I do that as well and what I used for it. I didn't go through that at the beginning of the video because I forgot. So I'll show you everything that I use, and we'll install the snap too, so you can see how it's done. Like I said, just take your time doing this. And practice makes perfect. And again, different vinyls that you cut are going to be easier too. Like this was a little tough. Okay, there you go. And now we'll add the snap. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be doing these little snaps. They're called cam snaps, and this is the cam press. There are handheld presses that you can use, as well as another press called an arbor press. You can get that from Harbor Freight, and there's some videos about it too, where you can buy sets of snaps or rivets or eyelets, and then the tools that come with it, you can use it on the arbor press. Maybe one of these days I'll use that to show you how that works. So what I did was I folded this. I don't know if you can see that well, just to try to squeeze this on because it's a tiny clasp. So I did that first, otherwise you won't be able to get it over the snap. If you're using a bigger one, you can, but mine is just the right size. So we're going to have to poke our holes on this first, and then we'll set those snaps. This is another option that you can set. This is a Dritz, and this one came from Hobby Lobby. It was the first one that I bought before I started doing a lot of these, and then I graduated to the cam press. So to cut this hole, I'm going to use this leather punch. You can get it anywhere, Amazon, the store, and I'm going to use the smallest hole on this to do it. And I just eye it. And then the fun part is doing this, trying to get this in here. And again, I just eye it. I kind of take the bottom of this and line it up with this part right here. And then that's how I do it. Okay, and there's the holes. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. So now you want to put this piece down like that because it's going to go that way. And then your other piece. And then for the cam press, you're just going to put it in here. Hold that. And just press it. And that's it for that one. Then for this one, I realized I had to get the hand one because this one will not go into the press. There's no way to get it in it. So we're going to use, sorry about my arm, we're going to use this hand one because it's what you can squeeze into the pocket. So I just put my hand through this hole to hold this snap on. And then you slide this one in here. Oh, I almost put this on wrong. 1 second. You see that? Okay. So you want your smooth part to go on the inside of the pocket, and then this piece on the outside. Otherwise, it's useless. I almost made a useless hand sanitizer. So then you do that, and then I sit it on the table and just press it. There you go. Your hand sanitizer, the applique hand sanitizer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below.